Alright, so I thought I'd make a video. Um, so I kind of realized a few weeks ago, and a few weeks ago, that a bunch of the content that I post is perhaps informative, but not necessarily pertinent to the majority of people on Facebook. Sorry, 3 hours of sleep, which is why I look like this. Um, like stuff about F1. If you're super into F1, I think some of the stuff that I post is really cool. But if you're not, you're kind of like, okay, he's already posted things 5 times today. I don't give a shit about Robert Kubica's recovery. So, same thing with technology. There's a bunch of cool stuff that if you're into tech that I post, that you're like, oh, that's super neat. I maybe wouldn't have looked on this, third tier tech website. But if you're not into tech, same reaction. You think, don't really care. So, what I've done is, because they killed MobileMe and iWeb publishing, I ended up putting my website back on a private domain. I had mattbray.net a few years ago. Turns out it was still available. So I purchased the domain again and posted, put up a website. So what I've done is I've made a conscious effort over the last few days to stop putting so much stuff on Facebook, and to start channeling that towards the website. Um, Namely because I think, I know it's a lot of stuff. I post on Facebook a lot. They break down internet usage on websites into, you know, percentages, and there's, like the 1% who's responsible for 95% of content. I'm that person. I obsessively post on Facebook. It's my stress outlet. I think everybody should know everything and, share, blah, blah, blah. But I realize there are a lot of people who don't really care about 80% of the stuff. So the blog is going to be set up for that stuff, the stuff that I think that's really interesting. And if you took the 5 seconds to add my blog to your RSS feed, then fantastic. It's super easy. You'll see that information. But if you're not interested, you won't see it. It won't bother you. It won't impact your Facebook viewing. Stuff that's still going to get put on Facebook. Important news that I think is really big. Still going to get put on Facebook. I'm sorry. Um, like I know a good 80% of my friends with smartphones use iOS. If there's a bug or an update or something, that's still going to go on Facebook because I think that's pertinent to a large number of people. But if you really don't care that, Windows Phone 7 has some crazy new feature, you're not going to see it on Facebook anymore. Same thing, a bunch of politics. It's going to move over to the blog. So it's going to be super easy to keep up with the blog. If you have pretty much a smartphone or Safari or Firefox, I'm going to show you a really easy, quick way to stay tuned. And of course, the URL for the website is going to be in my info box on Facebook. So super easy to do. But yeah, cutting down on Facebook spam for a lot of people. So I thought you guys would appreciate that. Here's how you subscribe to an RSS feed. Alright, so here's how you set up an RSS feed. It's super simple. It's a great tool to use to stay up to date on stuff. So basically what you do is enter the URL or browse to whatever website you want. You'd click on BAM, and then for my blog, you're just going to click RSS subscribe. Different programs handle RSS feeds differently. I know if you are in Safari and you come up across an RSS feed, it will have a little button here in the toolbar or in the address bar. You'll just click that, and it'll take you to sort of this look, the kind of RSS overview look, and then you basically would click like add over here and add it as a bookmark. Firefox does it differently, so you can subscribe to this feed very easily, and then just be like mattbray.net, blah, and then that will basically put it there. And then I'm not sure how Firefox works because I don't really use Firefox unless I'm having issues with Safari. With Safari, you can set it to update every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, it will check all of your RSS feeds and then display a number for unread RSS feeds. And then what I'm doing on my blog is putting kind of a little subject first here in the title. So this is a test. I left even the old Latin stuff that iWeb does. But if you were like, oh, I'm interested in this tech article, you can see that it's tech up front. Or if you're into F1, you'll see here that construction has stopped in Austin. So you were able to click there. Different RSS programs will operate differently. You can even, if you're an OS X user, you can use Mail to subscribe. You can even choose to have it show up in your inbox. So you'd have like an unread message counter here for how many RSS items you haven't looked at. Let's try somebody else. HuffPo, another good. And then sometimes you have to hunt for the RSS feeds. This is kind of the universal RSS logo. So you can click there. There. And then you're able to say, yeah, I want the whole HuffPo feed. So subscribe. Bam. I now have the full Huffington Post feed. Like I said, different programs will update. And it's a cool way to stay up to date on stuff without constantly checking it. It's an underutilized tool that I think is really important and really awesome. For people who are on the go, you can set this up on any number of programs. Most modern web browsers have it. If you're on a smartphone, every mobile platform will have an RSS reader. If it doesn't, you're on the wrong platform. I know that Symbian does. I know iOS has a bunch. Android, Windows Phone. I mean, they're all going to have feed readers. So it's really easy, super convenient way to stay up to date with stuff. And let's just try one more. Websites don't post them as prominently as they probably should. So kind of here you had to scroll down. But again, super easy way to stay up to date. Subscribe now. You can just view the live feed, subscribe, and you can put these into like, folders, rearrange them however you want. But it's a super easy way to stay up to date. And it's available on my blog. You can subscribe to my blog. That way you're not checking it if I don't update it for a few days. Just add it as a bookmark. If you've got Safari, add it as a bookmark in Safari and have it check every 30 minutes. And when I post something new, it'll show up. So that's a really quick look at RSS feeds, and they're a super great way to stay up to date. You don't have to worry about missing anything or checking constantly. It will let you know when there's new stuff. So anyways, that was a quick tour of RSS feeds. Hope you guys found that informative. Thanks.